We need broader rank distribution. That's the argument here. Gold and Plat to me are very overpopulated, with pretty much more than half the player base existing in this Gold to Plat range. But why is this important? It's just sort of lots of small things that all add up to make it quite important that we get the distribution right. First off, there's a much stronger sense of climbing when your ranks are more evenly distributed, because that means you move through the ranks technically more. So, for instance, I played Valorant about 2 years ago and climbed all the way up to, I think, Plat 3. Plat 3 is their high Plat 1, close to Diamond, right? And I started out as Iron 3, and I had to actually work my way up through the ranks. It didn't feel like I got, placed and just stuck and had to put a bunch of work in one rank for a very long time, because the distribution is a lot more even, a little more spread out. It felt like I actually had a clear cut. When I got better, I hit bronze. When I got better, I hit silver. And what happens with Overwatch a little more is that people might end up around gold and then have to improve a significant amount just to even get up to Plat, because there are so many people in that rank with such a various wide skill range. It's hard to really feel like you're climbing. You have to really focus on individual improvement that you are making. Stronger perceived matchmaking. Plat, with this way of distribution working, has such a wide skill range. You have some people that are really, 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 really bad, and you have some people that are actually quite good and probably deserve to hit Diamond, all within the same skill bracket, which means your matchmaking feels a lot worse, and you perceive it as being a lot worse. If you had a much more narrow distribution, you'd have a more compressed sample size of people in each matchmaker. Now, the thing is, it's perceived, because even if nothing actually changed, what would end up happening is you would see the match range was pulling from gold to high Plat, and you'd go, okay, this game is going to be a little wild. But when you see Plat 4 to Plat 2, you think, okay, this should be a really fair balanced game, but the chances are that it's going to be just as wild as if it was gold to diamond, right? It has such a varying skill level, and that's why I say perceived matchmaking. It doesn't really change the matchmaker that much, but it makes you feel better about each game if you're able to, see the fact that this is a wide skill range game. There is no sense of that if so many people are in Plat and gold. I think this is just an important thing. Rank to skill ratio being actually close and similar. So if you're a high rank, you're highly skilled, like it's the same type of thing. Whereas I think here you can be, a decent Plat player, you could be a bad Plat player, and you could be a pretty good player who just needs to play a few more games and, rank up. You have that wider mix. I feel with other games, the rank to skill ratio is a lot more there. So when I say, like, if someone said they were Plat to me in League, I'd be like, oh, do you know, that's right. If you said you're Plat to me in Overwatch, I think a lot of people would kind of just go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Like, there's a little less of a ratio there. You kind of have to hit, like, Masters before people kind of go, like, oh, well, that's actually right, that's pretty good. I think that's a bit skewed. Because of this, it's more clear to the player how good they are based on their rank, which is a good thing. You want to hit a rank and then be able to understand, oh, hey, I'm so and so good at the game. I'm better than this percentage of players. I did this and that. It's just a very nice indicator. It helps with the dopamine of knowing that you're climbing. It helps you feel better about yourself. It also just motivates you more to want to climb more and push it a little further, instead of just kind of being in Plat and being like, whatever, that's fine. And then just kind of accepting that. I also think doing this, in fact, makes the low ranks feel even more isolated than if it was the other way around. Because if you are bronze or even silver watching this, you're going to be there like, wait, what? Everyone's in Plat and gold? You're going to feel so much worse about yourself. You're going to think that you are the bottom of the bottom because there's so many people in gold and Plat. You feel like even more of an anomaly than if it was more spread out. Bit of a dumb reason, but every game has a better rank distribution, so there has got to be some sense to it. Overwatch can't be the only game that is doing something that is better. Like, let's be honest, if every game is distributing the ranks like this, this is sort of the normal way of doing it. The thing is, at the end of the game, keep in mind, the actual game to game doesn't really change. I am picking at little tidbits, but I think it's worth, just talking about these different things and seeing what you can do with them and seeing what you can change about them. You can't be complacent all the time, but it doesn't really change too much on the game to game feel. They are just ranks. But I just like having, everything be perfect, right? Because to me, it's quite important. I think rank distribution is under talked about quite a lot sometimes. All right, these are some anecdotes that I've had. You can, again, take all of this with a grain of whatever, because the sources are not that strong. There's some old data here. There's some things from just people that I've talked to or personally know or seen in different Discord communities, Reddits, and whatever. So yeah, take everything however you want to take it, right? The old data from over a year ago now indicated that most people were in gold and plat, and I believe there hasn't been a large distribution change to those ranks. There have been other rank resets that have pushed a little more to the top, a little more to the bottom, which is you can't create players. It's give or take. So yes, some players have probably shifted a little bit, but I don't think that overall gold plat distribution is much. I think it was more of a little more in bronze and a little more in champ, but it's not it's not been drastic, right? You might have gone up like two like tiers, right? You might have gone from diamond 4 to diamond 3 or diamond 2. That's it. Everyone I know of that I've got to play the game or see play the game or heard of play the game, right, that either have very limited experience with a game like this, I haven't played Overwatch or haven't played any shooters, have typically placed around plat 5. Like, most of them have, and even if they have like shooter experience, they're able to hit diamond or high plat fairly simply, right? And this is not in any way to try to put down people that haven't put a lot of time to the game. I don't know, bronze and silver. I genuinely believe if you're those ranks, you probably have other hardware limitations. It's your first game. It's your first game in this genre at all. It's difficult. You don't have much time to play it, because I think if you just put a lot of time, you would get out of bronze. Very simply, as long as your computer wasn't a pile of whatever, pile of garbage. But I just know that a lot of people have placed around plat 5, and then those same people, the people that I know, when we play games like Valorant or League, the range is far greater. Back to the Valorant thing, I remember having a party of people from bronze, low bronze, up to diamond. Those exact same people, and then you put them in Overwatch and it places around plat. That just seems a bit wrong. And again, it's a random anecdote. It's one thing. It's not definitive proof of anything, but it definitely shows a trend. It definitely shows it's an observation to make that these people can get a higher rank in one game, but the other one, even though it's similar, puts them in a way more varied place. But yeah, I mean, you could just say different skill sets. It's not concrete, but it's something to think about. And it also tracks with what a lot of other players have said. I've heard of a lot of people. I've seen this topic pop up before. Also, weird thing, queue times drastically increase once you're out of plat and low diamond. It really, 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 really does. They dramatically increase. I went on my Lucio arc, went down to like diamond 5, plat 1. I climbed back up to Masters, and as soon as it crossed into like Diamond 2, Diamond 1, Masters 5, oh my god, the queue times went from like 1 minute, 2 minute to 10, 8, and I queue at the same time, the same day, same role. Like, it's you know what I mean? Like, the variables are pretty much the same. Yeah, queue times do change, and I think that definitely is a reason. It's probably because of the distribution. All right, what's my big solution? We're pointing out a bit of an issue, a bit of a thing. What's the big solution to this? If it wasn't obvious, I think it's an extra rank, an iron, a copper, like something like that would be huge. I mean, games like League, Valorant, every game ever has done it. They have an extra rank. That's all I want to know. Usually, these things exist for engagement. Genuinely, they exist for engagement, because as a game, you don't want your players to be in the lowest rank. You just don't, because it puts people off knowing that they're that bad at the game, or you know what I mean? Because the idea is, you kind of sit there and you go, look, I might be bronze, but at least I'm not iron. At least I'm on copper. At least like it's that type of thing, and you feel this sort of defense. And people in Overwatch are like, I'm silver, but I'm not bronze, right? People will use that kind of argument, even if it really means nothing. But it's engagement tool. And when in reality, when you look at it, bronze really is the lowest rank. Iron in like Valorant and League and stuff it's such a minuscule amount of people in it, really. Bronze is basically the real bottom rank. Iron is just a way to weed out people that don't actually really play. So that's why you want an iron. This is a good thing, by the way. Having iron gives a place for people that don't play the game much, maybe have extreme hardware limitations, or don't want to really improve. They don't really do much improvement. They can just go to iron. They can just be an iron, right? And that's fine. It's a really easy rank to climb out of, and if it was an Overwatch, it'd be a really easy rank to climb out of. Just play a couple of the same heroes, play it quite frequently, and you'd probably hit bronze, like that. Which then means we can put more people in a bronze, because that like engagement tool psychological thing isn't there as much. Being bronze won't feel as bad. So then we can move some of the silver people back down to bronze, some of the gold people down to silver, some of the plat to gold. You know what I mean? Even some of the plat to diamond needs to happen. I've made a graph. It's not perfect. I didn't even do mathematically like percentage stats. I just put random numbers that made the things go bigger or smaller to be my proposed distribution. And if I have a look at it on my screen, The idea is that most of the people are in gold and silver. Gold and silver are fairly close, but mostly in gold. And the thing is, it's a bit of a boom up to gold, right? So quite a quick climb up to gold in terms of the distribution. Not that many people in iron, like double the amount in bronze than in iron. And same again for silver. Silver just doubles it, and then gold just slightly above silver. But then as soon as you get to stuff like plat and diamond, you start seeing these really, really big drops. This, if you were to look at percentage base, I think puts more people in diamond than there is right now, and even a few more in master. Okay, let me add this as well. I also still think there should be more in champ than there is right now. If you check the leaderboard right now, near the end of the season, there are about 1 or 2 champ 1 players on each region for each role. Which means in total there's about 10 or 8 Champ 1 players. I think Champ 1 really should be like the entirety of like top 20 or top 10 on the ladder should be Champ 1 players. Like that is kind of crazy to me. Champ should almost be where top 500 starts, or like top 400 or top 300, right? Instead it feels more like it's reserved for like top 50 are Champ, which is to me a bit odd. If you have more Champ, you can then sort out the other ones a little bit more, because then we have an iron, so you distribute those ones a little more evenly. A little bit of a difference. I won't go too much into my champ propositions, because I also have a bunch of ideas for how we can make the high rank experience better, or the ladder experience better. So I'll do that another time. But the general idea is that silver and bronze take some of the gold players, some of the plat go to gold, so kind of like half the plat, or like almost like a third of the plat go to gold, third of them stay, third of them go to diamond or something like that, right? And it creates more of a traditional bell curve. I don't know why, I prefer ranks distribution where it kind of peaks near the bottom. I think Valorant has this where kind of silver is the peak and then it starts going down with players. I prefer this for some reason. I think it just makes a better climbing system, because people that take the game seriously sort of will climb at the same rate, but it bottlenecks the people that aren't, improvers, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that is all. Those are all my propositions. I think an iron would be great. The only issue that all of this is now presented, if they were to do any of this, they would need to do another rank reset. I know, and they keep doing them, and it's a bit of a mess when they do them. But I would really like them to think. I imagine they've thought about it, and they've maybe just kind of sat there and gone, it's not necessary. So they've kind of held back on doing it. But I would really like it. The second solution I'll just quickly throw in here would just be to just distribute it more. Don't add the iron or silver or whatever. I mean, the iron or copper. Just put more in bronze, more in silver. Just spread out a little more. Then, hope this was cool. This was interesting to some people. I know some people will literally respond to this and just go, bro, it doesn't matter. Or think I'm the plat player that wants to get out of plat, and I want a secret method, a system change that I get boosted out. Like, that's not the case. In fact, with this change, I might go down if I was to do what I'm proposing. But yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day.